Addiction is fascinating. The idea that anything, a substance, a media, a person, that any one singular thing can hold power over a person, seep into their very being, and confront them on a level they didn't even know they had, that it can effectively lobotomize a human being and bend them under an invisible thumb that's not even being pushed down on. This is a video about Dead by Daylight. In 2019, I fell under an addiction. One that warped and changed my life, and one that I still struggle with to this very day. Every fiber of my being, every neuron that fired, every single thought I had was consumed with the thought of feeding it. My name is Queen, and I'm an alcoholic. Addiction presents itself in many forms. For myself and many others, it's in substance abuse. For some, it's lifestyle choices such as spending addictions or maybe being addicted to a person. And for many, it can even be a game. I first heard about Dead by Daylight all the way back in 2017. One of my favorite YouTubers at the time was playing it, and it piqued my little baby mind's interest. The environment of the internet was a very different place back then, and Dead by Daylight came in at pretty much the perfect time it needed to succeed. Released in 2016, Dead by Daylight was occupying the horror game space that had been exploding and booming in popularity over the past few years. As early as 2010 with Amnesia: The Dark Descent, going into 2012 with Slender and SCP Containment Breach, going just a little farther into the future at 2014 where Five Nights at Freddy's would cause the scene to truly blow up and become just this big mainstream entity in the online gaming sphere. It captured the hearts of many, myself included. There was something intoxicating about the game. The atmosphere, the sound design, hell, maybe it was even unlocking some deep primal urge to hunt or be hunted. It felt like you were in control, either evading and fleeing as a survivor or hunting and sacrificing as a killer. Due to the asymmetry at play, player agency always feels like it's at an all-time high. Your choices in the moment impact the entire game state, and it almost warps and bends around you no matter what actually happens. It's in those moments that Dead by Daylight really grips into you, that it marks itself on your mind and releases the happy chemicals that makes your brain want it more. So why are we here? Let's flash forward a couple years. It's now 2025, November, at the time of writing the script. Do I think I am addicted to Dead by Daylight? I've thought long and hard about it. Is it possible for a game that at this point I've dropped more times than I can count to have some sort of hold over me? I think it does, and I think I am. Recognizing an addiction is one of the first steps to beating it. That's not to say that knowing you are addicted will magically solve all your problems, but it's a hell of a lot easier to fix a problem you know is there. For a long time, I denied my alcoholism. Pretended it wasn't there, or I was just a social drinker, or that I would never fall for something so easy and predictable. Denial only made it worse. It reinforced the wrong beliefs, and it made me double down on drinking even more. Why am I talking about all this? Why did I decide to get up at 4 in the morning and write this script comparing Dead by Daylight to my real life problems? To be frank, because I can see this addiction in the community. I can see that it's tearing them apart and it's leaving them hollow husks of the people they were. It kills me to see people succumb to any addiction. It ravages your life and encompasses who you are, warping you into a twisted beast that can only think about feeding it, regardless if you're aware of that or not. Right now, Dead by Daylight isn't in a good place. Behavior just canceled their current changes to the game that were ideally meant to help make it better, less frustrating, more fun. This video isn't about the validity of those claims. It's not about pointing to behavior and screaming bloody murder at them or praising them for trying. It's about the community. Regardless of everything, regardless of what behavior is doing or what they will or won't do, the state the player base is in needs help. I'm not trying to villainize or simplify what's happening here. The community is tired, and is steadily, if not there already, reaching its boiling point with the game. At this point, I honestly don't think that anyone will ever be happy with the way the game will go. Dead by Daylight is a long-term game. What do I mean by that? A long-term game is a game that you play for, well, long term. When you keep coming back to over and over, either because your friends are on it, or it's the current big game at the time, just waiting for something else to fill its niche with a fresh approach. But that is its exact problem. There's no replacement. There's nothing to fill that niche that it feels. I play a lot of card games, as you can see over here. For a long time, I was deep in the Magic the Gathering hole. playing it week in and week out, following set releases, engaging with the community, and just letting it be an active part of my life. But over the past few months, I've been moving away from it. I may check in from time to time, but I don't actively follow or play the game anymore. So what do I do now? I've moved to other TCGs. At this exact moment, I'm really into the One Piece TCG. My personal friends have been getting me interested in the Gundam TCG and Flesh and Blood. I can continue to enjoy TCGs as a hobby because there were other games out there to fill in that niche. Things that offered a fresh approach or something just to break up the monotony. There's an excellent video by Game Boy Lad that has a segment that talks about this idea, that you can get sick of a game system but have nowhere to really back out to. In his video, he talks about how it can be pretty hard to stay interested in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because if you don't like where the current state of the card game is, you can't really turn elsewhere to continue to engage with the media because there wasn't really any real offshoot to follow. He goes further to compare it to Pokemon, where if you don't like how the video games are doing, you have a bunch of ways to continue to engage with the brand via things like the card game or the anime or, hell, even the collectibles. I'll link his video down in the description with a timestamp to this segment. To get back to the original argument, when I finally mustered my strength to stop drinking, I didn't just drop it off the edge of the world and never look back. I filled the hole it left with something else. I filled it with card games, I filled it with candy, I filled it with just treating myself more often. I found something else that gave me similar things that alcohol was giving me. Dead by Daylight has nothing to fill its niche. At all. Every other asymmetrical horror game seems to die from shot self and foot-itis, leaving this community with no real out. If they want to play an asymmetrical horror game, or they need to play an asymmetrical horror game, they have to play Dead by Daylight. It's created this almost reliance on the game being playable, that if it's in a bad state, people can't just leave and go do something else, despite what Matthew Cotier might have told you to do. I didn't think I could quit drinking, and to be frank with you, I still don't know if I can. But I won't be sober now unless I tried. So I guess what I'm saying is, I just want everyone to try. This community can be amazing, and it is full of wonderful people that just need some space to recuperate. Just remember what it's like to be themselves and not just another player in a sea of hatred and toxicity. I am addicted to Dead by Daylight. Are you?